Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Redeemed Marriage Podcast. This is Rusty and Heather Bryant. We're excited to be back with you for another episode of the Redeemed Marriage. Before we get started, this is a new year, lots of stuff happening. I thought we could just quickly run through some upcoming things that are going on. I know that some people are listening to this much later in life, but if you're listening, you're one of our regular listeners, thank you, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you like us and leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. That's not why I was saying all this, though, but I was saying thank you. So for the next several weeks, a really busy time. If you have ever thought about doing marriage coaching, this is the time to jump in. We are actually starting back. We always take a break during Christmas, during the holidays, and so we start back next week, and we've got openings throughout the spring. So I think January is pretty full, but then maybe once February starts rolling around, there's some open dates there. So definitely want you guys, if you've ever considered marriage coaching, we absolutely love that, and we love doing that with other couples and journeying along with you. Those of you that have been through marriage coaching, you've been through a retreat of ours, you've been to an intensive, we have what's called our monthly marriage mentoring group, and that's a community group that those people get a chance to sign up for that program. If you've never done that before, got some cool changes for the year because we redo that every year, and we've got some great things that we're going to be offering this year, so make sure you reach out so you can sign up for that. Let's see what else we've got going on. Huge coming up, February. February is our prayer challenge that we do where you guys get a chance to go and sign up for a specific day and a specific time during the month of February where we will pray specifically for you, whatever prayer request you give to us. And so that's going to be up on the website here in the next few days. But there's also some really cool things that we're doing this year along with that, and you guys are going to be invited to be a part of that. So just stay tuned to all of our social media channels. If you're not on our newsletter, make sure that you sign up to be a part of our newsletter or our email list, so that we can send that to you. We have one retreat spot left.
Just one.
One retreat spot left for Atlanta in the spring, and that is the March 13th through 15th. And so if you're interested in that, just reach out to us and tell us you want to know more about it. And I mean, it's going to go fast, especially once we kind of start letting people know that there's only one spot left.
Like you just did.
Like I just did. But the first week, the 9th through 11th, it is that there are no more spots there. So just the one spot left for March 13th through 15th.
Yep.
If you're in the Birmingham, Alabama area, we would love for you to come and see us. We're going to be over there at Gardendale First Baptist, and that will be on February the 13th. For their
Friday night.
Yeah, it's a Friday night, date night event. So we'll be sharing at that and speaking at that, leading that night. And so we'd love to see you if you're over anywhere in that area. Come visit us and come join us there. What else is there to talk about? We would love to schedule some intensives this spring. So if you're interested in that and just us working with just you for a couple of days, reach out and we can get that information to you. All right. So enough about the commercial. It wasn't really a commercial. It's just I want you guys to know all of the ways that we can journey alongside you. So today we have we said we stopped our marriage coaching, but it didn't really stop our communication with couples and things that we've been just continuing to walk and journey with couples through over the last few weeks. And one of the things that seems to keep coming up, and maybe it's some of the emotions of the holidays and the start of the new year, but one of the things that I feel like I keep hearing a lot is just the frustration of couples that are in the healing process. But they're in this frustrating stage of, okay, there's been whatever the betrayal is, but we'll just say there's been some confession, some confrontation to whatever the betrayal or broken trust is. And that has happened, and the repentant story has started, and the spouse that has broken trust has started doing the hard work of repenting and life change. And a lot of that, I think, goes along with what our message was last week on our podcast, and just how the start of the new year, it kind of kicks off marriage goals and personal goals and things that we want to change and do different in the new year. And so those things are kind of revving up, and people are working hard. But then there's this reality of the other spouse that's either just not on board or still, that arm's length distance, and just not sure that they can trust again. And there's just frustration from both sides. Both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I thought about that, I just thought about how you must have felt frustration in those early days and weeks and even months. I mean, maybe even the first year or so, maybe even the first couple of years. And so I thought maybe you could just start us off by kind of sharing what some of those frustrations were, and then maybe we can talk through how do you actually address that and handle that if you're that person and you're stuck in this spot where you're just feeling frustration through the healing process.
Yeah, and if you're not the betrayer, if you're the betrayed, hang tight, because we're going to talk about those frustrations too.
But either way, you're going to be able to learn what the other person is feeling.
Absolutely, and how you can be better in not getting as frustrated, but then also how you can handle that frustration. One of the things that when you were kind of sharing your heart about this topic and what you wanted to talk about, I couldn't help but think about our New Year's goals that we talked about last week, because New Year's goals can get frustrating. Just the same as this, because it's like
any goal,
any goal, any goal that you have, whether it's, we talked last week about physical goals, spiritual goals, relational goals, intellectual goals. And, you can get behind I'm just going to be real honest. I know that's surprising you. One of the books that I started, it's deep. Like
which one?
It's the John Eldridge one. Eldridge, Move the Mountains.
Moving
Mountains.
It's a great book.
I know, but it just starts really deep.
It honestly, it is a harder read than some of his books.
Okay, but I'm not giving up. But the first couple of chapters. This morning, I finished up the second chapter, I think, and I was going into the third, and I was like, okay, I think that it's lightening up a little bit now. Like, I think he was just getting through some of the philosophical, and I was just going, whoa, because I don't do great with deep.
Didn't have pictures and cartoons.
Shut up. Okay. So anyway, and so they can get frustrating. It's not like, I haven't been like, oh, this is going to change my prayer life. And I want it to. I want it to, give me some really strong truth, and I'm sure it will, because I've heard amazing things about that book. But that doesn't mean that it can't get frustrating. And so I'm just saying, with any desire we have, with any goal that we're trying to achieve, it can get frustrating along the way. And so one of the ways that I was thinking that I got frustrated is I can remember saying, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Like, I had fallen in love with the Lord. I was meeting with my mentor. I was off all social media because I needed to be at that time. The friendships that I had were pushing me towards the Lord. Like, all of the things that I knew to do, I was doing them, and I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. Because there was a lot of damage done. And so I can remember thinking, if he could just see my heart, he would know and he would believe it. But the reality is you couldn't. You couldn't. And so I had to keep showing up every day to keep doing what I was doing, to not for you, doing it for me, and just hoping that you would see that, trust that, and come alongside me in that.
I think a lot of people, they get this misunderstanding that the healing or the trust again is going to happen with change. And it really doesn't happen with change. It happens when you become a safe place. And I think that there's a difference. Change certainly moves you towards being a safe place, but just because something changes, that doesn't mean it's a safe place. In fact, a lot of times in other areas of life, you just think about other areas of life, and change is often the most unsafe thing that can happen because it's very uncomfortable. It's not what you're used to. It's sometimes unexpected, So, I mean, you think about a change in location, change in jobs, change in friendships, change in church, all of those things that could happen. And, when I throw those out to you, you don't automatically think, oh, that's safe. That feels good.
Right.
It's scary. All of that's scary. And so even when the change is good, it's still scary. You think about moving to your dream location and working at your dream job, all of that, it's still very unsettling and there's an unknown and it's very unsafe. And so you really have to get into a place where you can get established and feel comfortable. And then over time, it's, oh, yes, this is a safe place. But some of it, too, is you could be trying to move towards that safe place and feeling safety. And what ends up happening is that something rocks your world again. And I just remember those frustrations of being, okay, I'm recognizing this change in you, and I want to change with you. Like I want to lean into the change.
Right.
But I'm scared because, what if you do it again? Or then something would happen and I would have triggers and I would think about it again. And so there were all of these reasons why I never felt safe in the beginning. And so, when I was going through what I was going through, that was the part that was holding us back. And honestly, let me just say this too. There becomes this part along the journey where I even maybe, and I think other people can relate to this, but you start feeling, well, now I'm the problem. Because they're changing and doing all that they're supposed to be, but I'm the one holding us back. And that's frustrating to us because it's like everything in us says, let's move forward. But all these worries and fears and anxiety and everything, it physically can hold us back and our body just won't let us move forward. So whenever I would go through, when you recognize that that was the case, as much as you were trying and as hard as you were trying, and I was just kind of stuck, how did you respond to that? And what would you tell our listeners?
Sure.
Well, how do they respond to that?
Yeah. I mean, everybody who's listened to us for a long time will know exactly what I'm going to say. You just have to keep showing up and you keep doing it for you. If you do it for the other person, you're going to be disappointed. But I was becoming a God-fearing woman and someone who was chasing after the Lord for me and for my boys and for our family and for the people that I do life with. It wasn't just, let me become this person so I can save our marriage. It was, I need to become this person because this is who God created me to be and who He's called me to be. And so I had to keep doing it for that reason. Now, did I have to keep reminding myself of that? Absolutely. Because when you would not see maybe that I was trying, there is something really disheartening when you are trying to be something for your significant other, your spouse, your girlfriend, your fiance, whatever, and they don't notice. It's like, how can you not notice what I'm doing? Like, I'm working my tail off here. So, I mean, that's in all, and let's be honest, it can happen in your job when you're trying to do your very best work and your boss doesn't even notice, or your coworkers don't even notice. I mean, that's frustrating, but you do it because you're supposed to be the best version of yourself that you can be, and that God's called you to be and created you to be. And you just trust that your spouse will see that and notice that. It's kind of like, and I was pretty vulnerable, probably not as vulnerable as I could have been last week about even my health journey, in that, you know, when I'm doing the hard things, when I'm exercising and I'm doing the weights and I'm cutting down on things that are not good for me, and the scale doesn't move, that's frustrating. But I can't see what's going on inside. I can't see, maybe my cholesterol numbers are coming down. Maybe my sugar numbers are coming down. Maybe my, you know, I'm getting healthier on the inside, but it's not noticeable on the outside. So this is something you can apply to lots of areas, but I keep showing up and keep doing the thing for me and for my health, and not so someone else will notice. But that's hard.
I think one of the things that couples that have gone through something similar to us, they get into a place where they don't necessarily, I think there's an understanding. So I think you could look at me and you could genuinely say, I can understand why I've hurt you, you know, why you're hurting. I can understand why you don't trust me. I can understand that this is going to take time and all that. I think where some people don't really, where they get, maybe the frustration gets to a point of, how long can I really do this, is when they start asking the question, how long am I going to have to pay for this?
Yeah.
Because there's a difference in, I know that I hurt you and there's all these feelings inside of you and I can't imagine how you feel and I'm really, really sorry for that. And I'm going to give you time to get over, you know, to move past it and to heal. There's a big difference in that and me feeling like I have to pay for what I've done over and over and over because you just keep bringing it up. And we think that there's lots and lots of healthy ways to bring it up, but most people don't know how to do that. And so instead, they're just constantly keeping score, running, you know, not, I mean, I want to say nagging, but not even nagging. It's just constantly reminding you of what you did. And that's a really, really hard place to live. And as much as we want to say, well, you know, and the world wants to say it too, and we've lived it. So there's part of us that says, well, you caused it.
That's right.
Like, so man up, you know, and like just
deal with it.
But I've lived this side of it too, where I don't know, maybe you answer for us.
Yeah.
How, you know, did you ever experience that, or how did you feel just thinking, am I going to have to pay for this for the rest of my life?
I think that you did a really good job in letting me become the person that God was calling me to be. And you also encouraged that in me. Now, I know I had an amazing mentor, and like, you trusted that when I was with her, big things were happening. Like, you never were fearful when I was with her. You know, you knew that she was going to speak lots of truth into me. And so I never got really frustrated with not like you. Sorry, let me start again. I didn't get frustrated with you in that area because you were always really encouraging to me. You were always very, you would see the change and you would recognize it. I don't feel like that you ever got stuck in that. Now, because I think you enjoyed the person that I was becoming. And if you're enjoying the person that your spouse is becoming and they're working really hard in that, like, tell them that you see the change. Even if you have to say, hey, I see the change in you. I know that I'm a little bit slow to catch up in this, and I'm trying really hard, but I can see what you're doing, because you were encouraging to me, and it made me want to keep going. I can't say that I had to experience the frustration of changing and doing the hard work and really, really trying to become the person that God wants me to be, and you not seeing that. I didn't have to experience that, but I know a lot of people do. And I can only imagine how disheartening that can be. And also, like, I could see myself going, why am I doing this? Like, if I'm doing everything that I can and he doesn't even notice, why do I continue? And that's where you have to remember that you're not doing it for your spouse. You're doing it for you and your family and your children. And then you just pray like a crazy person that your spouse will be able to see it and come alongside you.
One of the things that's really hard, and this is hard for me to put into words, but maybe I can try to put into words what other people in my position would feel. You're right in that I was watching you become the person that I really wanted as a spouse anyway. So I was watching this transformation. I mean, it was almost like the cocoon and the butterfly thing. You know, I could see you becoming that butterfly, the thing that I wanted. But at the same time, I was hurting so bad. And there's no way to describe that. There's no way to put it into words. There's no way for you to even understand the depth of that pain. And I certainly couldn't voice it and say it. So as I'm watching this, there's this some excitement, maybe not excitement, but just, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to her being that I've always wanted, and this is great. But I'm hurting so bad, it's hard for me to enjoy it right now. And in the midst of the hurt and the pain that's happening right now, there's no other way to think about it except I'm never going to not feel like this. Like I'm always going to feel the depth of this betrayal. And so while I do recognize it and I'm like, yeah, this is it. We're going in the right direction, but I'm hurting and I'll never get over this. I will never be able to get over this. And what I want people to hear is that, will you ever completely get over it? Nope. But you know what? There's a lot of things in life that leave lasting scars, but beauty comes from ashes. Yeah. And so what we've experienced is just this new marriage that, you know, if I could sit here and I could start thinking about what happened and what you did, and it would hurt again. But because I've been through so much life now since then and so much growth and so much change, I can look back and I can tell people that are going through this, you won't always feel the way that you're feeling. And you may think, I'll never get over this. I'll never get over this. And as much as I want to say you will get over it, it's just that hard thing to put into words that, no, you won't really get over it. You'll just move to a better marriage. I mean,
yeah. You know, as you're talking, I actually thought about something that I've never thought about before or put into words. So I hope this isn't a dumpster fire and you have to edit it out.
Well, I feel like what I just said was a little bit of a dumpster fire because
it wasn't.
It's just, you can't, I mean, we get on here and we do a podcast and we meet with people and we talk to people and we try to put into words. And so much of it is just almost you can't even describe it.
Well, because you're trying to describe something that God did.
That's right.
And it's a miracle.
It's hard to describe.
It's hard
miracles.
to put into words. But one of the things that I was thinking about is how I know from looking back that I got myself into the situation that I was in because I was expecting you to fulfill me and to be enough for me. And I was trying to find that somewhere else because you weren't doing it. And so maybe there's somebody else that could complete me and fill me and make me feel complete. And what I realized is that I can't find that. There's no one else out there that's going to do that. There's nobody else that is going to be enough. That's the word that I want to hear. Is there was nobody else that was going to be enough for me ever, because it is supposed to be my relationship with the Lord is enough. And you get to come alongside me, and we get to walk this life together towards the only thing that can ever be enough for us. Okay. So I know that was a lack for me. Well, when I started chasing after the Lord, I don't think that there was ever a time in your life where you thought that I was supposed to complete you. Maybe there was, but you were very secure in your relationship with the Lord and all of that. And so you never expected me to be the enough that completed you. But then all of a sudden there's this measurement of, have I done enough for you to trust me again, and for you to forgive me, and for you to start acting like we're, have a new marriage like you just talked about. And I feel like a lot of people that we meet with and have talked to and heard from, the betrayed spouse then gets in this role of, you're never going to be enough. It's the exact same thing that I dealt with when I betrayed you, was that you were never going to be enough for me. Well, then all of a sudden the betrayed spouse, that's not enough.
Yeah.
That what you're doing
to prove to me.
Yeah,
is
what you're
never
doing to
gonna
prove to
it.
me is not enough. And let me tell you, betrayed person, it's never going to be enough, because you have the same God-sized hole in you that only God can fill. Your wife or your husband that betrayed you is never going to do enough Bible study, is never going to walk enough with the right people, pray enough, show you enough. They aren't supposed to be enough. It's still Jesus. And I just feel like that so many times when we talk about this to each other and to our listeners, it is just, what are you putting your spouse in the place of something that need in the spot of doing enough or being enough to complete you, or to complete the, okay, well, now I can forgive her, or now we can move on, because it's never going to happen. And that is all goes back to, is our fulfillment, is our joy, is our hope, is all of that coming from our relationship with the Lord? And then our spouse just gets to be a complete overflow and bonus to what we're experiencing in our relationship with Jesus.
That's good. You mentioned, because you were telling me and the person that's been betrayed, you were saying you can recognize the things that they're doing and you can encourage them and tell them. And so that was a real practical thing for somebody that has been betrayed, to voice that. And so I wanted to also give a real practical thing for the person that has broken trust. And as we are watching what's happening, and maybe there's moments where there's a lot of pain and you can tell that there's pain. Maybe we even bring something up. All we have is to watch your actions and hear your words. That's all we've got to go on. And so you may be working, and you're thinking, well, they're not seeing what's happening. Maybe they're just not voicing that. But you can also use your words, and so
actions.
That's But the words right now is what I'm trying. The practical thing is, you can tell them over and over, like, instead of when something comes up and there's some frustration on their part, and instead of you automatically jumping to, oh, you're going to bring this up again, or how long am I going to have to pay for this? Like, instead of saying those words, the words that you say are, I'm so sorry that I hurt you. And here's the thing I want you to know. I am here until the day that I die. And I am going to show you for the rest of my life how much I love you and care for you and all of that stuff. Nobody gets tired of hearing that. And those things that you're reassuring your spouse over and over, it just creates a safe place.
Yeah.
And so change your words from the defensiveness or the frustration of how long am I going to have to put up with this?
I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, how can you not see that? Just continually say, you can. And here's the thing. You just said, I'm not that person anymore. You can say that in a way that's also creating safety, where you say, hey, you know what? I'm not that person. And I am going to show you for the rest of my life that I am a new creation. And you deserve this new creation, and I'm going to keep showing you every single day when I wake up. Those are the things that create safety. And so that's a challenge to those of you that feel like you're just overly frustrated in this situation. The last thing I want to say, and I want to end with this, is I also don't want people to listen to our story and hear you're doing this for you. You're not doing it for your spouse, and you may not ever get anything in return. That's true. Like, we can't control that any more than you can control that. So we don't know what's going to happen with you and your spouse. But we also don't want you to think, well, now that this has happened, we're going to keep churning down these tracks, but there's really never going to be happiness. Like we're not going to be happy. We're just doing these things because it's what we're supposed to do, and we're supposed to be chasing after the Lord. And I'm going to have my own joy because I'm chasing after the Lord, regardless of what you do. And if you're doing your thing, chasing after the Lord, you're going to have your joy. But it's not that, because it can be joy.
It's supposed to be.
Yes, joy and happiness together. Now, that requires both of you doing your part, and that's the part that you can't control and we can't control. But when it happens, that's where I want you guys to look at our story and be able to go, oh, okay, they didn't just survive this devastation. They are living a completely new and different marriage that is full of happiness and joy and passion, and all of the things that we ever dreamed about is what we're living right now. And so that is something that we believe every marriage can experience, and better than ours. Ours is not perfect. You can be better than us. Please be better than us. We want you to be better than us. But you can look at us and say, that's an example of a miracle, and we can get to a place where God works a miracle in our marriage as well. All right, I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.